Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rory's Survival Series. This is a completely bonus episode being recorded in the midst of an actually larger episode. It just ended up being a little bit of an extra something that just kind of came together due to the necessity of the larger project. I decided to bore a giant hole in the nether roof. And while that seems all fun and dandy, it requires an incredible amount of TNT. I blew through all my gunpowder reserves, and all my methods of getting gunpowder were just inefficient. So I had to go and eventually make a giant creeper farm. I've already recorded the entire episode, so I'm just recording this intro for you so you understand it's gonna be a good one. It's like I am really quite proud of how it turned out, and it was completely surprising to me. I did not know I was gonna be doing this 3 days ago, but I'm doing it, so enjoy. And as you probably saw from the time lapse, I got a ridiculous amount of it done. I am probably about 3/4 of the way through, but the thing is, I blew through all my gunpowder reserves. Now, and by gunpowder reserves, I mean like 2 double chests, or maybe a single double chest worth of gunpowder. That's all completely gone, and the thing is, getting it back is the rub. Now, this is so incredibly loud. I had like basically a double chest worth of gunpowder and over the course of like a couple of chests. But the thing is, I don't think this being efficient is how I got that much. I think I just spent weeks just sitting all night here and then killing these things. Not like alive, but I mean like I would just AFK here like overnight like for weeks, and that's how I got those gunpowder reserves. This is a really slow farm. And the thing is, it is theoretically super possible to make a quick gunpowder farm, a quick creeper farm. So this is kind of outdated. And, like, there's a couple things that make this super inefficient, but none of them are particularly easy fixes. So, one thing, of course, is, if you can see from, like, these little areas over here, that these are only partially filled with not water. So, if that makes any sense. So, they spend a lot of time submerged in water, and that means that, like, they don't update very much, so you lose like 50% efficiency due to that. And then, of course, there's probably a whole bunch of dark spots everywhere in this area, especially since they added the 1.18 caves, like the deep slate layer underneath the regular layer. So there's a whole bunch of room deep underground in the world that I just do not want to have to go through to make more efficient. So there's a couple of solutions. One of which is to, of course, spend forever making this work and more efficient, and, like, adding more layers to this as well. But the other system that I could do is build a creeper farm off in the sky. And I think that would be a very cool build, because this creeper farm is not particularly huge, so I could make it into a giant airship. Now, I by no means had any plans whatsoever of making a giant airship today, but the thing is, the necessity of the building project that I'm doing kind of calls for it, so... Now, I've tried building creeper farms in the past, and they have been outputting absolutely no monsters, which is really annoying. I wonder if it's just like maybe one of my performance optimization mods kind of mess with the mechanics, though I don't see why that would be the case, because like, all of my mods are client-side. I don't have any, like, actually non-client-side mods working, so I just hope I can get this thing working. Now, the creeper farm itself, it's a very small project. It does not take a lot of materials. Now, as for a location, I would probably want to go into a spot that's not super populated, but also still within view. So... I also don't want it to be anywhere near that thing, because that thing is going to mess with the spawn mechanics. So... I want it to be within the street. By the way, this thing looks awesome, just looming over all the different, like, places I go. Like if I was to go over here, there's all this stuff visually here, this isn't super impressive. But if I were to go, say, over here... Like, say I were to go over here and you can just see this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, this is where I'm going to put the creeper farm. I'm going to put it, like, in the middle of the sky, way up there, and I'll make it into, like, a giant balloon or something. I'll figure out a way to make it look good. Now, of course, the tricky part is finding the bamboo. I don't have bamboo. Where's my bamboo? Actually, I might have a single stalk of bamboo in here somewhere. It's kind of a long shot, but the thing is, everything I don't have a spot for ends up in here. Bamboo. Ah. Okay, I'm not super unlucky. I have bamboo. That's actually super useful. I think one of the future episodes I'm going to do is sit and make a big ol', like, super smelter, an automatic super smelter. Okay, I might have to resort to actually walking here in a second, because I don't think I have any more rockets, and I'm saving all my gunpowder for this big old project. Actually, I don't know. Do I use it? Let me craft some more of these things. Now, the bamboo is going to be a really easy thing to get, because I have more than my fair share of bones. I'm following a very simple tutorial that explicitly says 1.21.4. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to be very annoyed. Well, I have to go get string. And I have to go and basically deforest the spruce, because I want the spruce to look good. Because if I don't build this thing really nice as soon as I make it, then I'm going to have an issue where I go around and I just make it super ugly, and then I never fix it. So, you know, we want to avoid that. And I still have bamboo. Okay. Now, I hear a rumor that these Flight Duration 1 rockets aren't really that much worse off. Yeah, the flight duration really isn't... For flight duration 3, it's not triple the flight speed. It's like maybe double, so I would be saving on gunpowder, which sounds economical. Hopefully I won't have to worry about conserving gunpowder here in the future. Hopefully I'll just have an excess of it. But in any case, I only need so much of the scaffolding, and I need to put the rest of my stuff away in here. I actually am going to need all the scaffolding, because I realize I need to build very high up, like very high up. Okay, I could make this out of oak and like kind of cheat my way out of this, but I think I am going to just follow the theme I have for the rest of the airships. Which means before I forget about it, I need to get a lightning rod. Otherwise, the thing is going to burn down. Okay, what color? That's a good question. You see, I'm going to make it out of a big, beautiful brown and gray. Sorry, red and gray. My brain did not work there. I meant to say red, but I said brown. I would never make anything brown if it's going to be such a big, beautiful thing. I need my red. I'm very limited on my red. How's my gray going? Which one of you is gray? I can't tell with you people. I need dark gray, specifically. Okay, we have wool. We need several other things. So, let's go to our spot. Let's go to our location. Okay, we gotta go high. Okay, that is clearly way too quiet. Now, trust me, brother, this has to be high. I'm glad I made all this extra scaffolding. As long as I have... Okay, you know, you're gonna be as high as it goes once you're done. The build height's risen since like a while back. Okay, please at least be close to the cloud height. Okay, you're at the cloud height. That's a decently high amount. And you're smack dab in the middle of this little plain, which is good, That looks absolutely awesome from a distance. I am glad. Okay, so side rant. I came and I fixed a whole bunch of my Java virtual machine options, and not only do chunks load incredibly fast, not only do I stop having random freezes, but I also have, like, an incredible frame rate. Like, here, look. I'm getting 84 frames per second. My render distance is, like, ridiculous. My render distance, I'm rendering, like almost 30 chunks. Okay, let's see if I can land on you. Do I have any wood in my inventory? I do not have any wood in my inventory. Okay, we're gonna deforest. We're gonna go way off in the distance over here to where you can't see it. Okay, I should be good. I'm gonna go to my pillar of sky. I should eat while flying more often. You don't slow down when you're flying, when you're eating. Also, I think my PC's kinda taking the mickey. Alright, I think I am gonna go and just build this thing and see if I'm disappointed or not. Well, la-dee-da, an entire day's worth of footage got corrupted. Luckily, it was just the boring part of me building the creeper farm. I have better time lapses to come. It's working, it's working, it's working. That is the most wonderful sound I've ever heard, hearing them creepers. Okay, that's actually really incredibly exciting. Made a mistake. I dropped all my stuff down there. I need to go over there, but I don't think I have time to make this super nice and pretty. I think I'm just gonna have to be a strong person here in a little bit, here in the next episode, and make it really pretty, because I'm going crazy, actually. Like, you wouldn't believe it. I'm going absolutely crazy, because I need to get that hole in the nether fixed. I'm going nuts because of it. Okay, so, whatever. 1, 2, 3. The benefit of building this so high up is that I can just simply build to the side 100 blocks, which would make the whole thing work nonetheless. So I think the towering up was just a method. It was just a method for getting above the ground spawn, but I was a hardcore person, and I built it in the middle of the sky, and it's gonna be an airship at some point. At some point, it's gonna be an airship. I think later during this episode, I'll fix this. Okay, so I'm over here on my airship, that is probably 113 blocks out. Probably. I'm gonna see if anything spawns there. I've waited long enough. Time to see if you work. So I have more than 6. I just have 6. Okay. Okay, so mobs cannot spawn if you're within 24 blocks. They can spawn if you're 128 blocks. Which means, at this distance, we should be getting creepers. So if I were to build an airship here, yes, we'd be getting creepers. Okay, I need to build an airship here, but for the time being, we're just gonna have an ugly box. Okay, so this is my incredibly stupid solution to this problem. I just have a little floating box up in the middle of absolutely nowhere, flying in the sky, and creepers are being spawned. It's just another day in Minecraft. Okie dokie, so I've been sitting here in my ugly box, and I have a creeper who spawned on here. That's very annoying. Go away. You spawned in the wrong place, sir. You should have spawned in here. Okay, that was about half an hour. I don't know exactly how long that was. Definitely not enough to get working on our mob farm. Sorry, it's not enough for us to get working on our little project. So I think it's safe to say this thing can go. I have no need for it anymore. I'm just gonna do this a lot more safely. At least that's certainly a lot better than what I had originally had. In that other farm, I would get about 30 gunpowder in the same amount of time. So it's a good 5 times faster, which I think is reasonable. I just gotta AFK there for as long as I'm able. I can't AFK overnight, unfortunately, because I sleep in the same room as my computer, and it would drive me crazy. Yeah, that's a really awkward, ugly little thing. That thing's really hideous. I gotta fix that. Not immediately, but at some point, I gotta fix that. This reminds me of, like, early day Minecraft, you know? Before anybody cared about building, you would just build big, ugly things out in the middle of nowhere. And then, of course, we got, like, super good at playing Minecraft over the years. But, this actually looks really cool. I love how much render distance I can just have now. Like, seriously, like, since I fixed some of those issues on my computer, I'll be able to use my computer to the, like, max capacity. I mean, I'm sitting here at 100 frames per second. My monitor can't even do that. I only have a 60 FPS monitor. So I need to get a better monitor. So many things I want. The thing is, I need money for that, and I'm not about to spend money on that. But for the time being, I am just going to sit for the next couple hours, do nothing, and just have fun cleaning the house and stuff. And just do chores and other things, and then eventually I'm gonna wind down, and then I'm gonna check, and I'm gonna hope it's at least 20 stacks. But you never really know. I want to know how long I can sit here without, you know, going crazy. Okay, so me and my group just finished watching a movie, and I am about to go to bed, but I need to know, how effective was this? Also, it's really quiet. I haven't bothered to turn on the sound. I've let this run for about 3 hours. That'll do it. I was hoping for like twice as much more, but the thing is, this works. I think I'm going to be able to get this done tomorrow. Cool. Look at that. Okay, good night. Okay, this thing is cracking me up. It is the most ridiculous thing I ever built. It's the Minecraftiest thing I ever built. But I'm about to come here and attack this thing with a bunch of string, because I do not want to light this thing up. I think it would look very good in the dark. I just have to remember where all the... Like, this is really hard to see. You won't see it from a distance, but I gotta just attack this thing. Okay, this might actually be one of the best things I ever built. It was a total joke making this, but it worked out really well. I mean, this is the most Minecrafty thing you could possibly build. I haven't dug this up, by the way. I mean, look at this. It's a giant balloon in an airship with a comically small, like, balloon holding this big old thing. I put turbines on it. I put, like, a little engines on it so it can, you know, aesthetically fly. I've got the creeper faces. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And I have all this space here down in the deck for absolutely no reason, because I wanted to make this thing a little bit better shaped, because my base for this thing was so awkward. Like, look at how awkward this thing is. I could not have picked a weirder shape. I mean, it works, kinda. It's still really awkward, but this build could not take itself seriously, so I just had fun with it. Now, I've attacked this thing with a bunch of string, so hopefully I can alleviate some of the mob spawning, but I gotta get rid of all this down here. The only other thing I gotta do is I gotta figure out a way to get up to the balloon. I don't want this really ugly thing over there. That's just, like, hideous. The thing is, if you go to the top of the balloon, you still get spawns, so I just need to figure out a way up there. This is really frustrating. I left unlit areas in there. Yeah, there's gonna be no real easy way to get back up there, so I'm just gonna do the simple solution, and I'm just gonna bring a bunch of leaves, and I'm gonna tower up there, and then hope I get my stuff back before I die again, because that was a really frustrating death. I was just low on hearts. I didn't think there'd be any problems, but I've got some mob proofing to do up there. I gotta say, that does look a little bit epic. It's strange, but it's epic. It sure does. I'm gonna be in a real predicament if that zombie picked up all my netherite gear, because that has thorns on it. I'm gonna have to find a creative way to kill him. It also has feather falling, so I can't make him, like, drop. how am I gonna do this? Here we are. I gotta say, that looks really cool. How am I going to do this? This is gonna be really tricky. Or maybe not. Maybe he never picked up my stuff. Maybe he just despawned like a good little zombie. There is a zombie in here, but he didn't pick up any of my stuff. I have no easy way to kill him, though. I really need to clean up in here. Luckily, this is pretty tall. Here, we'll do this to... Oh, come on. We can kinda hide this entrance a little bit. Okay, this thing was functional. It was functional. It did what I needed it to do, but I also hate it. So we're not gonna do that anymore. This was horrible. I really need to not build functional things at when I'm super tired, because then I just end up cutting corners on the building thing and it looks weird. But I still cannot get over this thing. This is the worst and best Minecraft thing I've ever built. It is so awesome and yet so terrible. It is so far out of my niche. I do not build things like that ever. I think I need to build things like this all the time, because they are so fun. I'm just gonna let all that stuff fall and despawn, because to be completely honest, everything I need from there is already in my inventory. There's not really much valuable stuff, just building materials. Most of it was just miscellaneous. But, and I also do not need a means of getting up here, because I can just fly, and I don't need to overcomplicate things. Any sort of, ladder or anything would be horrendous and ugly, and it would just not match the theme of the build. I can fly here. I'm not going to be dying up here anytime soon. I think it would be almost impressive to die up here after I've theoretically mob-proofed this whole thing. But I do say that. There's probably still places for there to be mobs. But they're easy mobs. They're easy mobs. I'm not dying up here. No. It's safe. It's fine. Now, of course, the fun part, which is getting down. Alright. Okay, this is much less risky than I thought it would be. This isn't precarious at all. This isn't a problem. Since when could this ever be a problem? I'm not in danger at all. You can keep that scaffolding. I don't need it. It's a mess down there, but the thing is, we're not going to be down there. We're not going to be down... Look at how awesome this is! The really hideous bottom of it really doesn't take away from the majesticness of this thing. It's just an awesome build. Okay. I made a mistake here. I gotta figure out where that guy came from. Where did the creeper come from? I don't really do a lot of mob proofing with strings, but I can see why... Come on! This is not what you're supposed to be doing. You should not be spawning. Where are you? Oh, that's where you came from. Okay, just place lanterns everywhere. That's all you gotta do. You gotta just place a million lanterns, and then I gotta double check all of this. Are you stringed up? Or are you... Oh. I don't think we're gonna get any more nasty surprises. It's way more efficient. Oh, I just came into view, guys. My really weird thing. But the thing is, it just stands proudly in the sky. That just dominates the sky. I mean, that makes that look weird. And this took only a couple hours. This is one of my favorite things. Sorry, little guys, you've been all phased out. Well, guys, this kind of turned into its own episode. I wasn't intending for it to be this way, but that just allows me more time to work on other things, because I actually have the entirety of the nether roof busted through. That's a little sneak peek of what I'm doing for the next episode. That was the original intent of this episode, and this sort of happened in the middle of it when I ran out of gunpowder. But that's gonna be really fun. I'm actually about to go on a nice long mission to get a whole bunch of materials for that nether base project. So this is kind of like a bonus episode, I guess. But I'm still gonna give it a tag and make it like a good video as much as I'm able. But this is like one of my favorite things. It's lost a little bit of its newness since I've been using it so much, but I think it is a cute little addition to my world. It's very Minecrafty, probably the Minecraftiest thing I ever built. But it's really exciting to me nonetheless. And I'm really excited to get working for the next episode. I hope I can build a little bit of hype for that one. So, guys, I will see you in the next video. But if for any reason you'd like me to pray over you or pray for you, I will happily do that. Just type a comment down in the comments. You know, where you make the comments, and I'll pray for you. You know, it's just enjoy your day. And have a wonderful evening, or watch another one of my videos. Yes, you should probably do that instead of clicking away. It's in your best interest.